Angela Benton. Now, you are a phenomenal woman in digital media and one of the panelists here at the Digital Dionis. I don't know if I'm saying this correctly.
I don't know either. But yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. And actually, you are the founder and the CEO and owner of blackweb2.0.com. Tell us more about that.
So Blackweb 2.0 is basically a technology blog. We write about general technology news, but we also highlight technology entrepreneurs, events, products. So it really is pretty much the only place you can go online if you're looking for African Americans who are tech entrepreneurs.
I love that idea. I mean, what inspired you to design this firm?
Well, I guess. Let's see, in August we'll be 4 years old, which is old in internet years, I guess. So when I first started, I was actually working someplace and trying to do research for a position that I wanted. And I went on kind of all the usual tech blogs, Mashable, TechCrunch, and I was looking for entrepreneurs, but then I couldn't find any. And then I was like, well, okay, let me take a step back. Let me look for like BET, which is owned by Viacom. No one was writing about digital presences, for any of these companies or any individuals. So I guess naively, I was just like, well, I'll start it. And I have a design background, so I started writing about things from a design and user experience perspective. And really, after that, it didn't really spiral, but it gained a lot of community kind of at first. I got a lot of emails from people saying, oh my gosh, thanks for starting this site. I was thinking about doing one on my own, and how can I help? And from there, it just has been like a labor of love, and we've just been kind of growing and growing.
And you have been growing, and Spelman, now how did you get a part of this Spelman's digital image moving salon? I think the concept is great, and they're partnering with Women in Film and Television, and you're the panelist at this discussion today. Talk to us, how did you get involved with Spelman, and are you a graduate of Spelman?
No, I'm not a graduate of Spelman. I actually participated in an event on Spelman's campus not long ago called Digitini with Everywhere, which is one of the people who are putting this together, and Lauren reached out to me again and asked if I wanted to participate, and I love Spelman, so I said of course.
Yeah. A lot of women and women of color especially, pioneering and being innovative, and in this digital media, that's really important. We do need to see more of us in digital media. So this is really, what are you going to be talking about on this panel? I'm just curious.
I tend to keep things like really open. Like, I'm a huge fan of conversational panels because I just feel like people get more out of it versus me talking about how I started and just specific things. I really want to hear from the audience and just be of any assistance as I can. So I'm hoping and I'm sure there will be a lot of really good questions, and we'll just kind of go from there.
Well, you're very inspiring to me, since this is something that I'm involved in, just to see another sister doing the same thing, and it's really positive, and we're just wishing you're welcome, and we wish you the best with your company. And speaking of your company, how can people find you?
People can go to blackweb20.com, and if they're interested in kind of all that we do, they can go to blackwebmedia.net and find out information about conferences and other stuff that we're kind of into.
Miss Angela Benton, thank you so much for being here on the LePage Report. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
It's Jackie Chu. She is the owner, founder, and president of iFusion Marketing. How are you? And please tell us more about your company.
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me here. iFusion Marketing was founded 4 years ago out of my desire to get out of corporate America. I have been working with startups since 1998 and had been a VP of marketing and sales of sorts throughout those years, working either externally with a startup or inside of a startup. And so I felt that I wanted to be able to do the similar things for a company, but for many companies. So the idea behind the company was to essentially bring the experience and qualifications of a senior level marketer to a startup that may just be starting out, that may not be able to afford or aren't ready for a full-time chief marketing officer.
How did you get involved with becoming a panelist for this event?
Actually, Lauren, who is a young lady whom I met, a very impressive young lady, whom I met at when I was part of the New Leaders Council, and that is an organization that essentially provides I think it's a 16-week fellowship institute, if you would, for aspiring social entrepreneurs, and it's a way to give them the skills that they need to be socially and active and in their communities and to give back. So we actually met because I was I was hosting the Social Media 101 session, if you would. That was part of their training and their curriculum, and I was hosting that.
So a part of this whole social media thing is you got to get out there and network. Would you agree?
Absolutely. It's actually an interesting dynamic. I have some friends who are very well versed in social and are very social themselves, who've actually decided, they've put a moratorium on events. One of the dangers of social and social media is that you could spend a lot of time engaging and talking and such, but not actually doing. So there's a notion that as you engage and you network, it needs to be with a purpose. So some people are net weavers. I'm sure you've heard of that term, and they pay it forward. Now I'm all about that. But when I actually go to an event, I actually think about all the different groups that I'm involved with that I can add value to by connecting them with the people that I do meet at events and the people that I do meet virtually. So for me, that's how I balance the whole issue of, well, if you're on Twitter and Facebook and all the other networks all the time, how do you find time to get anything done? Well, that's sort of my excuse anyway.
Well, it's a pretty darn good excuse, and I can't let you go without letting our viewers know how they can get in touch with you and your business, iFusion Marketing.
Okay. Well, actually, iFusionMarketing.com is under renovations. The best way to get a hold of me is via Twitter. So if you don't have a Twitter handle, now's the time to get one. My handle is Jackie Chu, just like my name, JACQUICHEW.